Welcome again to another edition of my new YouTube channel. Thanks for all my subscribers, thanks for all the likes, thanks for all the comments. So guys, in today's video, we will be going across the pond to the US. So a bill is set to be passed where they're gonna be paying bounty hunters to catch immigrants. So they're gonna be paying regular citizens, not police, not no law enforcement officers, regular prisoners, regular people. They're gonna sit on each other. So they're basically just saying anybody who you see who doesn't look like they're American, and you know when they say they don't look like they're American, you know exactly what they mean when they say that, right? And a lot of people on the other side of the aisle were warning them. They were warning them about these things. Now you have a lot of Latinos, you see a lot of Latinos online now crying because their family members are likely to be deported. You're crying saying that you voted for Donald Trump, but you're crying now that your family member is going to be deported. Like the man told you what he was going to do. Donald Trump wasn't hiding what he was going to do. He told you guys what he said you were going to do, but you said not to take him literally. He's just speaking. So now that he's in and he's doing exactly what he said he's doing, now you guys coming and crying boo-hoo tears. Like, who do you expect to come and help you now? You guys all this on yourselves. You understand? But you know what I think these people are doing? These people are trying to round up all these people, all these individuals. They are trying to round them up to have them into some camp, because they said they will be sentenced to life in prison. Life imprisonment because they are an illegal immigrant. Oh, you mean life in... I need to do some more research on that. Life in prison. So imagine that they catch you when you're 18 years old. You have no chance of appeal, no chance of coming out. It's just forever. Your life will be there. And then they'll be taking you and sending you on farms to work for little or nothing. So you see that this is where the people want to take back the country, because it's saying regular citizens will be paid to do this. Regular people will be paid to hunt these people down. You understand? These convicts, those convicts, they will be forced into the slave trade, like a modern day slavery, where they will be working for pennies. They will literally be working for pennies. And that is what that is what the core of the US, how the US is run. It's like that's just where the people want to go back. It's like history is repeating itself. All the things that are happening now, similar things have happened in the past, but for somehow people decide, no, this time it's not like it was before, when a lot of people can see the things for exactly what it is. You understand? A lot of people can see these things for what they are. And now you coming out and you're crying, saying, Trump is gonna send back your family and all these things. You are the one that caused these things on yourself. You cause all of this that is going on because you voted for a man, because you want it. I don't know if you want the closest to whiteness is that you're aspiring to. And the fact of the matter is you will never be white. No matter how you look white or how they will never consider you to be white. So instead of fighting for the good of the people, yes, I admit that maybe some of Kamala plans that she had, a lot of people wouldn't have agreed with them. But do you think the Democratic they would be doing something like this, that what Donald Trump is doing now, because it's like Donald Trump is coming back with a vengeance, because according to him, Donald Trump felt that the 2020 he felt that the 2020 election was stolen from him. And that is just how Donald Trump feel. And it's like now he comes back, he might come back with a revenge, and it's like he's going after all the people that were out to get him. He's going after all those people, and it doesn't matter what the Latinos cry and how they're asking for. It's just a shame that black people have to suffer through this whole thing, and a lot of people who did not vote for this, they will always have to they will also have to be suffering through the same fate, because it's like the country is basically a fascist country. Look at the sign that Elon Musk put up the other day. That's the sign, and people are making excuses for it. It's not like Elon Musk came out and he wrote a public statement or he did something in regards to the sign that he did. He hasn't said what he did and what he meant or whatever, but you have the followers, they have decided to come out to decide what it is. When the person that has done it, he hasn't said anything. So these people keep making excuses for these people whenever the truth is right in front of their eyes and everybody else is able to see it. But for some reason, they do not want to see it. They do not want to see it. I just don't understand.
This man is playing no games. Watch this.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together. It's not the only paper where we've given the secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend a zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman, with
family.
all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Man absolutely tore her to shreds. This man seems to be playing zero games.
Man, I thought that this mass deportation thing was like just a rumor, just a joke. Now, for those of you who know me, I live out here in Houston, Texas. And like you can go down the main street, like FM 529. There's like these taco trucks up and down the street. The food is so freaking good, man. It's like I gotta eat there multiple times a week. I went down that street today. There is not one single taco stand open. Every last one of them are closed. Like 3 or 4 of them had like yellow caution tapes going around them, like do not enter. They literally closed it down. This mass deportation thing is 100% real. This is not fake at all, man. This mass deportation thing is not fake at all. This is crazy. Like when Trump was in office before, I heard him saying that he was gonna close the borders down and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. You know how every president talks. But this dude right here, he came into office swinging, man. Swinging, man. Dang. It's really, really happening, man. Like, this dude came in changing some laws and putting some things into play that looks like that he is actually carrying this stuff out for real, man. Woo! Crazy work. Crazy.
Hay mucha migra y todos están cayendo. No les recomiendo cruzar porque hay un chingo de niños.
They are rounding up kids right before they turn into the school. I'm in Chicagoland area. I'm about an hour outside of Chicago, and one of the schools that I pass by every day is known to be a Hispanic majority school. They are stopping these kids, because a lot of them drive, it's a high school. They are stopping these kids right before they turn into the school to round them up. The shit has already started. It's sad to see, but at the same time, it's like, damn. Like, because I think the school grounds is off limits. They can't get them while they're in the school. So these police officers are lined up right and catching these kids right before they turn into the motherfucking school. I know they are horrified. But in the area that I live in, a lot of the Hispanics that are over here are Trump supporters. They're very proud about it. They are very machismo. And a lot of the high schoolers pump that same shit. And it's just like, it's a shame that it has to be all of them. And you just couldn't fucking listen when we told y'all. But to see the shit in real time, after the motherfucker said that he was gonna do the shit, he's doing it. He's 100% doing it. It is happening. It is not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet. The shit is going down. My God. My God. Bless them all.
I'm John Modlin, Chief of the U.S. Border Patrol's Tucson sector. This morning, I'm at the Tucson International Airport. Behind me, you can see recently processed migrants boarding an international flight back to their country of origin. I would remind anyone thinking about crossing the border illegally between the ports of entry that under Title VIII, you may face an enhanced expedited removal process, meaning that upon being encountered, you'll be promptly placed into immigration proceedings and may be removed. Instead, anyone considering migrating to the United States is highly encouraged to apply for admission. Don't risk your life or the lives of your loved ones by crossing illegally through Arizona's desert during the summer months. Remember, there are consequences for illegal entry under Title VIII. These consequences are strictly enforced. Use the CBP One mobile application. Don't cross the border illegally.
Algorithm has been suppressed. My videos are not getting out, but this is a warning and we need to rally together. If you are a person of color, a black person, because this is again directly about black people, like, share, comment, boost this to the For You page because this is serious. Remember how I told you that once they were done focusing on immigrants, they were going to turn on black people? And this is why we should have minded our fucking business and stayed out of it altogether. Trump's Justice Department halts police reform agreement. Why is this a problem for black people? Because that police reform was specifically put in place in 2015 after Freddie Gray was slain, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it means. It's basically made it so that they could keep tabs on police departments for the people that they were unaliving, harming, or being treated unfairly through them. It makes clear that the department will use all appropriate legal authorities to safeguard civil rights and protect the environment. This has to be consistent with long-standing departmental practices informed by the expertise of the department's career workforce. You follow that up with what just happened with Elon Musk doing that salute. I told you guys we were next. Share this. We need to come up with something now. This is not a joke.
ICE raids have already begun, and we're about to be in a lot of pain as Latinos, Mexicans, Americans, really anyone, even if you're not directly connected to someone who has immigrant status. But we all have to know that you don't have to cooperate with ICE. If you see ICE, you yell, La Migra. Maybe that will help anyone get out and give them a little time. These mass deportations are literally like just the beginning. And we're all going to feel it, whether you care about people or you care about your pocket.
If you have no legal status and are with your minor U.S. citizen children and get stopped by CBP or ICE, what happens? That's a really good question because now the U.S. government is in a quandary. First, immigration cannot take U.S. citizens into immigration custody. They can't be detained and they can't be locked up just because their mother or father is out of status. If immigration asks your consent to bring the kids into custody with you, say no. They absolutely cannot leave the kids on the street unsupervised. So they might ask you, is there someone who can pick up the kids? Say no. In immigration court, you can't even leave the kids, minors, outside the courtroom unaccompanied for liability reasons. So imagine if they just leave the kids and take you. It's never going to happen. So then there's the question again, what will happen? Well, my guess is they're going to have to let you go. So here's a practical tip for you. Take pictures of your children's birth certificates and school ID or passports or whatever they have and keep them in the phone with you so that you can prove they are U.S. citizens. Be strong, stay informed. Knowledge is power.
One of my clients was picked up and placed in deportation proceedings in West Texas. He is undocumented. His wife is a U.S. citizen, and they had their small U.S. citizen children in the backseat of the car. He was pulled over for a lane change issue, and the police asked him his immigration status. When he said he was undocumented, the police called ICE, who came and took him away, took him in for processing, and placed him in deportation proceedings. So there's a few things to note about this that I think can be useful for other people. The first is if you're in this situation and there's someone in the car who is a U.S. citizen who knows how to drive, they should always be the driver. The undocumented person should ideally not be the driver. Secondly, if the police are asking about immigration status, you should decline to answer that question and say, I'm sorry, but I respectfully don't want to answer questions about my immigration status. I can identify myself to you so that you can check to see if I have a warrant, but I don't want to discuss my status. If you ID yourself, you should do it with a U.S. ID if you have one. If you don't have one, sometimes you can get an ID at a library that has your photo and it can demonstrate your name and your photo and your address and all of that. If you don't have a document, that just give your name, your address, and your date of birth, but don't talk about your immigration status or where you're from or where you came or anything like that. And we all have to be vigilant, and the immigrants themselves right now have to know how to assert their rights in these interactions.
Rieksen, she's the Danish premier. For the call lasted about 45 minutes. The White House has not commented on the call, but other people who are familiar with the call have described what went down. Donald Trump said, I want it. She goes, okay, it's not for sale, and said, we understand that that's what you're interested in, but we're not giving it to you. It belongs to us. It's part of our kingdom. 5 current and former senior European officials who have been briefed on the call said the conversation went awfully. They added that Trump had been aggressive, confrontational, and just outright rude following the Danish Prime Minister's comments that the island was not for sale, despite her offer of more cooperation on military bases and mineral exploitation. So the Prime Minister met Frederiksen. She was trying to be nice. He said, look, we're always down to improve our alliances and to strengthen our relationships. But this is how people described it went after she said that, quote, it was horrendous, said one of the people. Another added, he was very firm. It was a cold shower. Before, it was hard to take it seriously, but I do think it's serious. I do think he is serious. and potentially very dangerous. The details of the call are likely to
Listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, fuck off.
Elect Trump's comments about buying this Danish territory. Take a listen.
A lot about Trump and also their opinion about Trump.
I hate it. And basically, I don't know what he's aiming at.
For me personally, I want to stick with Danish government.
Well, most of the people that we talked with said that they did not support Trump's comments and found them offensive.
But the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives and the Senate continue to say that this is our manifest destiny. America, we are predators, is what they say. I'm not making this up. This is, for example, Andy Ogles, MAGA Republican. He's the one who introduced the resolution or introduced a proposal to make Donald Trump a dictator for life within the first week and to amend the Constitution. He and other MAGA Republicans are out there saying this. America, they go, we are the dominant predator, so we need to impose ourselves over others.
Trump was asked if he'd rule out using military force to get control of Greenland and the Panama Canal, and Trump would not rule that out. How would acquiring that land help everyday Americans better afford their day-to-day expenses?
Well, first of all, Brianna, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Listen, President Trump is bringing us into a golden age of America. This is the new manifest destiny. Reacquiring the Panama Canal, acquiring Greenland, renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This is the light of America expanding. You know, we have a very clear strategic interest geopolitically, both in Greenland and in the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal, as you know, was created with the blood, toil, tears, and sweat of American citizens. We put an enormous amount of money into it. I don't think we ever should have relinquished control of the Panama Canal.
So guys, what do you think about these video clips that I have just shared with you? A lot of people, to me, it seems as if they are buried their heads in the sand and they don't care about what is going on around them or in the wider world and how this is going to have an impact on us all. All of us, I said it before, when America cough, the rest of we vomit. Because that's just how the economic thing set up here now. And what may I tell you? It's just so sad that in this day and age, people would vote against their own rights because they want to seem as if they're in a power, they're in authority, or they're in control. But the regular people, the regular poor white people, is like they're still not benefiting from any of this. Their country is in chaos. Some places in America, when you go to some places in America, you can't even believe that's how this is the great America that they're talking about. So it's like their country need to be fixed in so many different ways. But at the same time, they're out there trying to conquer and take over other places. And this man, he's telling us what he's doing, but people are not focusing on what this man is doing. The only thing people are focused on, oh, Donald Trump said two gender, male and female. Like, that is all that matters. And it doesn't matter the chaos, and it doesn't matter how it's affecting us. Some people feel as if as long as it's not affecting me, I'm okay. Can you imagine in the first clip that we looked at, where the man was saying, I don't know, so with my part I seen, my part of Donald Trump administration team, right? And like one of Donald Trump right hand men. And these grown men, like you actually see people are worship people in this day and age, like they're worshiping another human being. I am not the only one I can't be the only one who is thinking like this, because you're just watching everything unfolding in your eyes, and a lot of people still not seem to care, or they're too engulfed in whatever is going on, the entertainment or whatever gimmicks is going on, to pay attention to what is going on in the world. That is why some groups of people, that's why we find ourselves in this position all the time, because we don't stand up. Like, when I say we don't stand up, I don't mean all of us don't stand up, but we don't know how to come together as a group. You see, no matter what the Republican Party does, it no matter what them do, they are sticking with each other. It no matter how ridiculous things sound, it no matter how we think them stupid, it no matter how we think that is foolishness and can't work and it's against the law, the Republicans, they stick together and they are gonna make it work. Now look at this. In the first clip where they were discussing about removing people from the US, splitting up families, and this man is just talking as if it's just nothing. He's just having a cup of tea and just relaxing. Like, it's not people's lives that you're talking about. The last time that Trump was in, a lot of people were in concentration camp. Like, a lot of children were split from their parents. They were in cages, and we have seen this stuff. And then you have this man who is going to come out, and even when they're trying to question when the young lady was trying to question what he was doing, he was adamant at what he's gonna do and what needs to be done, and it doesn't matter how much money it's gonna cost. So if it's gonna bring down them entire economy system, they do not care as long as they get rid of the immigrant. Can you imagine? In one of the other clips that I've uploaded, this black man is coming out, and he's telling you his experience of what is going on in his city. He's saying the entire place is empty, like there's no one to be found. All of the immigrants, them gone into hiding, and they're not coming out to work because, as you all know, ICE has started rounding up people. And in his city, he's saying all the food stores that were operated by mainly Latinos, they're shut. They're gone. They're just gone. You can see a lot of migrants, they've been chained. Their feet, their hand, they have been chained. It just brings back so much memory when you see human beings are being treated like that. They have been chained. Chains are on their feet and their hands while they're boarding the aircraft to be deported to whatever country that they have come from. And a lot of these people are not given due process. They are not taken through the court system and having their immigration status being heard by a judge. These ICE people, they are just rounding you up and trying to get you out. You understand? So people, I don't even know if I say I need to be careful, because a lot of you people, your family have voted, not necessarily the ones who are illegal, because I'm sure if you're illegal, you're not able to vote, but your family members has caused this chaos on you. And no matter how much time black people were warning you and telling you what's gonna happen, you people just flat out decide to refuse. It's not as if the other side was perfect, but at least I don't think there would have been so much draconian things going on in their administration if they had won. You understand me? You have the solicitor, the lawyer, the lady, she came on and she talked about her client, and she's imploring people to walk with their identification at all times, because you don't know what can happen. People are warning people what to say if they see ICE. According to them, that you're supposed to say the migra, is that it? Something like that. But they're informing, some of their community members are informing their communities what they need to do in the sad case that ICE are come around, or they are being picked up by ICE, and all of these things. They are going into the schools, according to another of the clip. They are actually at the school gates waiting on kids. I'm presuming maybe high schoolers, those kind of school, like taking kids and do what? We're gonna take the kids and do, like, I don't understand why there's no outcry about what Donald Trump is doing, because the Democratic Party seem to be too silent, although I know they have taken cases to court, because the one in which he wants to revoke birthright citizenship, they have taken that to the courts, and that has been halted. So we're gonna see. Trump is on this thing again where he wants to take over Greenland. He wants to take over Canada. He wants to take over the Gulf of Mexico. He wants to rename it to the Gulf of America. So I'm sure they're gonna be printing lots and lots of new globe in America, where they're gonna be classing the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. You have these people coming on live TV and telling us that they are predators. They are predators. These people coming and telling us that they are predators and that they need to go and conquer the world. They need to go and take over other people's land just because they can. And the world is not in an uproar. I don't understand why people are so, why would it is coming across as people are being a bit docile. But then again, I'm saying it's only one, even if Trump does all of what he says he's doing, it's only one set of people it's not going to affect, and it's those people who are not of color. You understand me? Only those people who are not melanated, blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever, the first world, most of the people in the first world, those people are not going to be affected greatly. They're going to well, I shouldn't say that, because financially they're going to feel it. But these people would prefer to suffer as long as those other groups of people are suffering more than them. You understand? And people, we need to do better. Like, we can't see all these things coming out in front of our eyes. We're not informing each other. We're not talking about it. The people that are on the ground, their voices need to be heard more. Some people are able to use the internet to get things across, whatever medium you're using to get people to know what is going on. Because as I always say this, why slavery stays so long is, I think a lot of people in the world is like, because it wasn't affecting them, they turn a blind eye to it, and these things went on for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, and it's like it's the same thing that we see happening in our world today. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is all that I have in my clips in this video for this video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and keep your eyes open. You understand? Keep your eyes open. Do not bury your head in the sand and think, all right, let me just go and rest and whatever. You can't rest right now. Even though we say we're resting, but we have to rest and still work in ways to be productive within ourselves. Find ways to help grow our communities. Start supporting Black businesses more. Each time we say we're going to do that, we'll all support Black businesses, It's like we do it for a while and then we stop. People, we need to do these things. We need to spend our money within ourselves, in our community, so that we can grow and we can have stuff for ourselves. Because it's like slavery start again. And it's not like it was finished, but you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe.